Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Levi from The Balance. Today, I'm with a very special guest, Terrance, the CEO of Lucra Group. Terrance, thank you so much for your time. I'm really happy to have you on the podcast. Um, I want to start off with a very simple first question. Could you introduce yourself? Tell us more about who you are and what do you exactly do?
Sure. No, honored to be here, Levi. Thank you. My name's Terrance Visser. I'm CEO of Lucra Group, where we redefine bookkeeping in organizations. So we're a CPA firm that focus solely on one thing, and that's bookkeeping.
All right. Perfect. Yeah, and that's also something I wanted to ask you. I saw it on your LinkedIn. It's very like dominant in the way you guys at Lucra Group sort of promote yourself. I don't know how to say, but it's very dominant. You are a CPA-led bookkeeping firm. What's behind that, and why not like offer a full service? Why only bookkeeping?
Yeah, that's a good question, Levi. It's been a little bit of a journey coming to this business model, but might just share a little bit background. Won't go too deep into it, but my background is in finance. So I've worked for banks, worked in mergers and acquisitions, ended up owning and operating a manufacturing business for a number of years, and ended up selling that, and then went down a journey. So like, okay, what's next step? So I thought, I'll go into CFO work as a contractor, kind of like a part-time CFO for various companies. Did that for a couple of years. And through that experience, realized after, in an operation for a couple of months, it's like, okay, this is not a full-time role. We've set up different systems, operations, cleaned up processes, and it's like, okay, this isn't necessarily a full-time role. So going through that kind of journey and kind of seeing what businesses really need, partnered with a CPA who worked for Deloitte, large accounting firms, ran tax teams for multi-million dollar organizations, and we came together with this vision to really help businesses where we think there's a gap and a need in the industry.
Hmm. All right. All right. Interesting. Because to be honest, I've had quite some podcasts at the moment, been in contact with quite some CPAs, bookkeepers, loads of people in the industry, and this is the first time I hear this, so that's super interesting. Could you tell us a little bit more about your background and how that you got to the point where you are at right now? Because just before the podcast, we talked about that Lucra Group. You only started this 6 months ago, so there must have happened a lot before those 6 months time.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, backing up a little bit, when I was doing CFO contract work, it was essentially that. It was contract, right? So it'd go in for 6 months to a business, move them to paperless systems, fix, clean up chart of accounts, set up budgets, and then I was kind of twiddling my thumbs, waiting for the next board meeting to present the budget. And it's like, I need more. I need to be busy. I need to have more than just, I was kind of getting a bit anxious doing that type of work. So after the last contract, I was in a summer and looking for the next contract, and I was just to be honest, it was a tough period. I was struggling to figure out, like, do I really want to continue to go down this path of CFO contract work? Just didn't seem like a great business model. It wasn't recurring revenue. It was, after every contract, I'd be looking for the next one. So to be honest, it was out of like a difficult time period. And then I believe we received what I call a God-sized vision. And that vision was to do bookkeeping. And it kind of blew us away because it's like we kind of looked at bookkeeping as this task we kind of downplayed, like most business owners do. It's like this thing that's there, but it's not really valuable. But when we had this vision, like, this is needs to, have a proper, I guess, credentials doing bookkeeping. We call our logo is Lucra Group Bookkeeping Redefined. We want to redefine bookkeeping in organizations because we came across so many business owners that were stressed and had anxiety, and it was mostly because they didn't have clarity on their books. So it's funny, you ask so many business owners, and if you interview business owners, you should ask them, what are the two main things you look at to make decisions? And I guarantee you, most of the time they'll say revenue or they'll say bank balance, right?
Hmm.
And it's like they're making decisions off revenue or bank balance, but was it true profit, right? They don't know because they don't have clear monthly bookkeeping on their books. So they're no wonder they're stressed and have anxiety. So this kind of vision came about that, we want to help business owners with bookkeeping and we want to do it differently. We want to brand bookkeeping as a quality, done with excellence and provide monthly reports to business owners.
Yeah. So would you say that your background as a CFO, basically, and also your fellow founder as a CPA, would you say that you just are a bookkeeping firm, but you just really try to over deliver?
I don't know if I'd say we over deliver. It's more like I've owned and operated a business. I know what it's like to manage cash flow, to be stressed out about payroll coming, to, understand when, processes and procedures aren't in place in an organization or if it's not staffed properly. So what, and then my partner, she's worked for, the largest accounting firm in the world, managed, multiple teams and has seen, been in public practice for many, many years, saw so many businesses come through. So it's not like we over deliver. I think what we do is we come in and we oversee our process and oversee our bookkeeping processes and staff and bring in a level of clarity and excellence that oversight is invaluable. I can give you an example. We brought on a recent client, and our onboarding is probably where when you talk about over deliver, it's probably our onboarding because we dive deep into cleaning up chart of accounts, reviewing processes, interviewing the business owners, and really getting that insight into what's really happening in the business. So this one business, the business owner was really stressed and the business was running him. He wasn't running the business. So part of our bookkeeping was you might need to hire this general manager in between yourself and the staff to help manage operations. So that piece of advice was invaluable. He ended up hiring somebody. It's changing, not only his business but his life, right? So it's one example. And the other thing, what we did in the onboarding is we noticed some of the merchant fees were really high as a percentage. So after looking into it, we were able to ask a few questions, renegotiate the fees, we saved them over 50,000, will be over 50,000 over the course of the year, just
Wow.
on, looking at the merchant fees and that contract. Just insight like that, is it over delivering? I don't see it like that. It's more just, taking some of our experience, what we look at when we, do basic overview of chart of accounts and talking to the business owner and saying, okay, have you thought about this or that?
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, we are passionate about bookkeeping and getting those monthly reports to the business owners.
Yeah, clear. So with Lucra Group, what is since you are quite new, what is the goal or the big thing that you're working towards? Let's say, what is a short-term goal and what is a long-term goal?
Yeah, I guess when I think kind of like what would be our biggest challenge, a challenge and kind of leads to a goal, I guess, would be in redefining bookkeeping. It's so often people look at bookkeeping and it's just not a foundational piece of a business. They see it as this task they got to do. They sometimes put it off for months, don't value it, hire somebody that's maybe not the greatest fit, but it's like, oh, they can, get it done good enough. So one of the challenges or growth or goals would be to, I guess, giving that monthly clarity and giving the value back to the business owners to see what bookkeeping really is. And it's a foundational, probably one of the most important foundations of any business is proper bookkeeping. Because if you're not seeing if you've made profits or how much profit you've made on your products or by location or, various things, you're missing and business owners are missing, such a key foundational aspect of how do we grow the business? How do we improve profits? How do we make decisions? Do we hire? Do we expand this product over this one? How do you even know that if you haven't done the proper books to see which products actually making more profit than the other one? So we feel foundation of every business is bookkeeping. And, our goal is to, bring that out and teach people how important it really is. And that's kind of the change, right? Because it's always, bookkeeping's always looked at as this, not that important tool, where we see it as a foundational tool to every
Yeah.
business.
Yeah. I think most people think about bookkeeping like, hey, it's something I have to do for the government or for taxes or for other people. Whilst I think, and that's also a little bit like your vision with Lucra Group, it's something people should be wanting to do to be able to have a good overview of their books. Yeah.
100%. And we want to like, even though we are an accounting firm, like a CPA registered firm, we see one of our big goals would be to support and be that gap in between businesses and the accounting firms. We don't want to compete with accounting firms. We want to support them. We want to be their biggest, like they're our biggest hero, because we want to give them such a clean package at the end of the year that they're not doing the back and forth journal entries, cleanup, taking time, with high charge out rates, and then it's an awkward conversation at year end about we had to spend all these hours cleaning up your books. It's like, here's a clean package for the accounting firm so they can actually do what they're made to do, which is focus on advisory and tax advice and structures and the things that they're actually need to focus on to help the client, instead of spending all this time cleaning up year end. So we see, a big goal for us is to meet that gap in the industry of between business owners and accounting firms, and really support accounting firms.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. And is there maybe, let's say you really like reach all the goals that you have and everything's going amazing with Lucra Group. Is there maybe a slight chance that in the future there will be some accounting services that you will provide?
Yeah, no, it's a good question, Levi. We get asked that a lot. Like, oh, can you do our tax? Can you do our accounting? We have the expertise to do it. We've committed to, right from the beginning, we will never do tax. We just won't. We're just passionate. We're truly passionate about bookkeeping and helping businesses get monthly clarity, get monthly reports, and be able to, change the way they see bookkeeping in their organizations as a tool and a foundational tool for their business. So no, we won't ever get into tax. One of our greatest referral partners is accounting firms. So we don't want to break that trust. We want to build that trust and relationship. We want to be a support to accounting firms, and to specialize in tax and accounting. It's a total different. We want to focus and do well at this, and let the accounting firms do what they do well at, with tax and tax structures and advisory work.
Yeah, makes total sense. Makes total sense. All right. And what are your firm's core values and how do these show up in the day-to-day operations?
Core values. Yeah, it's a good question. Even though we're a fairly new firm, we do have some values that we're trying to build out and continue to implement in our day to day. A few things. One is optimization. We feel we want to build on optimization and use AI as much as possible. We can get into that a little bit more. Trust is another big one. Core value of trust, building trust with clients, building trust with accounting firms. We believe in being a kingdom-based business. So in that, we have a purpose, and we want to have a long-term impact on the businesses. So it's about integrity. It's about building into not just helping businesses with their numbers, but when we see something we can help business owner with that'll impact his life and better his life, we want to add that value. And the example with bringing in certain structure in that management team to free up the business owner to run the business versus the business running them is massive, because we want business owners to love what they do. And so often they started their business or they're running their business out of a passion of something they're really good at. And now their business is just, it's taking over, it's put stress in their life, it's hurting their family life, their marriage, whatever. We want to get, even though we just do bookkeeping, we have a passion to help business owners get back in control of their business so that they
Mm-hmm.
can love what they do again. And
Yeah.
we see that foundation is honestly, it's bookkeeping is such a huge piece of that. So a couple other things. Excellence is a core value. Service, obviously. Generosity. We see generosity as a big thing for us and our clients. And that's another foundation piece of that is just the simple thing of like, don't pursue debt unless you absolutely need to. Let's work towards removing debt to be freed from debt versus leverage, 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 which is so often the market and our culture is like just leverage. You can use cheap debt and but there's we see the value of freeing, moving towards being debt free.
Mm-hmm.
Those are kind of some key ones for sure that we're trying to build on.
Yeah. And you already pointed out just then you're looking into AI or you find it important. A direction we always want to go in the podcast, the balance is the future of accounting, the future of bookkeeping. And I'm curious with the growth of AI, how do you see the future of accounting and the future of bookkeeping and the whole industry?
For sure. It changes every day. It's something you want to utilize. We want to use for a couple of reasons. One is to build efficiencies in our organization to help us do our job better, more efficient, right? Obviously. Second thing would be to help our clients have the right tools that we can give them better information, better data in a more timely manner, right? So if we can use AI for not only benefiting Lucra Group and our efficiencies, but also in benefiting, giving our clients what they need in a more timely manner and giving them data or information that, that they wouldn't get without the use of the AI tools. It's huge. It's continually growing, evolving. It's a powerful tool that is changing and has changed and will change every industry going forward. It's not a matter of is it going to change? It's a matter of how can we utilize the tool to benefit Lucra Group and benefit our clients in a manner that helps everyone, right?
So what would you say to an accountant or a bookkeeper who is afraid of AI
Yeah, no,
taking their
it's
jobs, You hear it sometimes.
my only fear with AI is that I'm not learning it quick enough or I'm not utilizing it,
Same for
or
me.
right, or do I
Yeah.
do I have the right partners like you guys, right? You need to partner with the right firms that spend the time and have the right resources and capabilities to partner with you to help do things to help your firm and to help your clients. No, it's nothing to be feared. The only fear is not using it because there's so much power in it to help you, to help your clients, to help your business, to help your profits. Um, the fear is, we're missing out, we're behind because every single day new information comes out, and we need to partner with proper coaches or teams or businesses that can help us utilize these tools to the most effective way.
And have there been like certain moments or certain AI tools that you have implemented or certain moments that you have implemented an AI tool that has really like changed a lot for you? And when was it and what tools or what things that you use or what did you do then?
Yeah, for sure. We have our main internal platform is built on a AI tool, and it's a software that's already in place, but it's based off of AI. So how that's helped us in a massive way is just an organization of our bookkeeping processes. So one example is for us, we do the same thing over and over every single month, right? The beginning of the month, we need to collect, credit card statements, bank statements, because we have to reconcile each account every month. So what this tool does is it sets up this automator that pulls in the bank accounts and credit card statements. And then as soon as we get those statements, it triggers off to our bookkeeping team to say, this is now ready. You can start reconciling. As soon as it's reconciled, they'll hit done, check a box. Then it hits to the next level. It goes to our review process where we can, now review it. And then once all that's done, and the processes and approvals go through, they check a box, boom, it goes to the CFO reporting. Then it comes to me. I can review the reporting package, put that together, add some insights, and send it out to the client. So that process isn't something we need to track externally. It's all done within the AI tool, pulls in statements, automates the role to the next person. And at any time we can see where where the step is in the process of the monthly close process, and it'll help us tighten up more and more as we continue to adapt. It'll help us tighten up our monthly packages to get the data and the information out back to the business owner in a timely manner. So
Mhm.
that's one tool that's kind of foundational to what we do that we've utilized. There's many more, but that'd be one good example for sure.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Definitely a good example. Next to AI and the whole trend around it, are there other like key trends or key trends in the accounting and bookkeeping industry that you're looking into it at the moment? Or things that you feel like, hey, this is the next thing people are going to talk about?
Yeah, it's a good question. Obviously, social media plays a big part in everything we do. Social media presence, building a brand, marketing, getting out there. LinkedIn, we utilize. We're starting to utilize. We're just a fairly small firm, just starting out. But what we pretty quickly is, even though we're in Western Canada, our first clients were in the States, and we got requests just word of mouth saying, "Oh, can you help me out? Can you help my business out?" All of a sudden, we're throughout North America with our first clients. So we saw that with being cloud based, we can now service the industry from anywhere. Like we're North American. There's no reason we couldn't go international. We're North American for now, which is fine. There's enough work here in North America, but I think with cloud-based tools, you can expand your staffing. It's no longer we need to be in a brick and mortar building to add value to clients. And
Hmm.
not only does it, how we operate, but we get our clients to do the same. Like there's no reason most businesses, small to mid-sized businesses, shouldn't have a paperless accounting system that they can, monitor and get from anywhere from a laptop. So yeah, I think being cloud based maybe sounds old already to me, but it's some businesses, still thinking we need a bookkeeper in the office, or we need to print these documents and stamp them and stuff like that. Like long gone is the day of needing to print and stamp and file in filing cabinets. But yeah, so cloud based social media, lots of things that are already happening and have happened that'll continue to grow for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Social media in any business right now, even like the more I would describe accounting and booking as a more like an old school type of business. Even those businesses, I believe, really need to look into social media, AI, just implementing the newer
For
technologies,
sure.
basically. Yeah.
Another
Um.
thing is how we just jump in there. One more thing, Levi, that I think most accounting firms have heard about, if not implemented already, is how they charge their clients, right? So is it the hourly billings versus the monthly subscription? So that's a change that probably happened already years ago, but some firms are still, moving towards the monthly subscriptions versus hourly billings. That's a big change in the industry. And that not only changes, the value we give to our clients, but it'll really change the culture that the industry, the culture for the staffing, right? No longer maybe needed is tracking time every 6 minutes for the staff members, because it's more focused on let's add value to the businesses.
Yeah, I understand. I agree. I agree. Terrance, for bookkeepers, accountants, and just interested entrepreneurs that are listening right now, what is one piece of advice that you would give them if they are looking to grow, looking to innovate, looking to go to the next level with their business?
Yeah, it's a good question, Levi. I think for me, when I look back at the journey and starting this business and really launching it, it came out of a passion and a need that we found in the marketplace. And I think for any entrepreneur or any business, it's finding what you're passionate about, finding something in the marketplace that you can add value. And for me, it was, looking back at all the things that I did in my career with, buying and selling businesses, doing mergers and acquisitions, owning and operating, doing CFO work, and kind of pulling all this together. And it's came to this vision of how we can use these experiences in life to move forward with a business. And then pursuing it with, you know, bigger mindset, just like have a bigger mindset on what you're pursuing. Don't I think we so often limit ourselves in our vision or our goal for the business. We often just we're so closed. So I'd say just pursue things, have a vision bigger than yourself, and go after what you're passionate about, trusting that your whole history is it's all things kind of happen for a reason. And so many things that in our past that we thought were challenges or disappointments or failures, they all get used to, produce produce something in the future that, can be used with passion to help others.
Yeah, yeah. I completely agree. I really think that's a wonderful advice because this is also something I always say. If something really bad happens, there is good in that because that really shapes you as the person that you become out of that bad news or anything. You learn from that, or you get better, or you get stronger. So everything happens for a reason. That's a good one. Terrance, if people want to work with you, or if they want to learn more from you, they want to have a chat, reach out, where can they find you?
Yeah, for sure. Our website is lucragroup.com, Lucra group.com. You can connect with us there. I'm on LinkedIn. Feel free to look up Terrance Visser on LinkedIn. And yeah, it's probably the easiest just to connect on LinkedIn or just connect through our website. Be happy to chat with anybody.
Yeah, I'll make sure to also put the links to your website, to your LinkedIn, and everything relevant in the description of this podcast below. Terrance, I really want to thank you so much for your time. Do you've got any last words, any last things you want to include into the podcast?
Yeah, no, it's no, I really appreciate the invite, Levi. It's great to get to know more about your firm and excited to continue these conversations. Really appreciate your time and hosting and having Lucra Group. We're honored to be here.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time again. And for the ladies and gentlemen at home that are listening, thank you for listening. This was podcast The Balance.